Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello YouTubers and welcome back to my channel How to Paint Watercolours with me Colin. I've chosen a mountain scene for this one. It's a mountain pass with distant mountains. This one will be like a bit of a misty evening scene as you're looking through the pass into the mountains. Be a quick rundown of the colours. Naples yellow and cadmium yellow light, cobalt blue with neutral tint, a stronger cobalt blue and neutral tint, burnt umber, cadmium yellow light. If you're enjoying these videos, please click the like and subscribe should you wish to. All subscribers are welcome and it's free. And if you'd wish to, please leave a comment. All comments are welcome. And I'm just going to drop in some Naples yellow down here and create a light space. Just dropping in some of the Naples yellow, cadmium yellow light. And I'm going to take some of the cobalt blue and neutral tint. Don't mess around with it, just get it on. Careful when you come down towards the yellow. Just drop some down here over this hill. Using the cobalt blue and neutral tint. Nice and dark in the corners. Drop a little cloud running across here. Not mixing it, just dropping it in. I will be lifting some paint out, so I'm just going to add some extra dark in there. Taking some of the neutral tint, cobalt blue, really dark. A little interest in the sky there. Strengthening it up. I just want to bring a little bit of this down here as well. I want to bring some patches of the cobalt blue and neutral tints in here. Just for some snow. Just mixing between the darker and the lighter cobalt blue and neutral tints. Just lifting a little paint out if it spreads a little bit too far. I want to create slight differences in the shadows. And I want to lift some lighter patches out in the sky. I hope you can see that. Creating some extra light in the bottom of the picture. Very gently done this, very gently. I want to bring it over the top of this tree here to lighten it. This will make the tree stand out extra. Always find a clean piece if you can on your kitchen towel. That's all I want to do to that. And then we're going to let that dry. Okay, your sky's nice and dry. We're going to do each of these hills individually. So I want to allow them to dry before I move on to the next one and create a little bit of mist in these as well. So I'm just going to re-wet it. And then I just want to take some cobalt blue and neutral tint, which we've used in the sky, and drop this in just along this top edge. These are Jackson's own watercolours I'm using. They are artist grade. Anybody who's wondering what paints I'm using today, pull that into the water, allow it to drift. Taking some of the darker colour from the sky, a darker neutral tint with cobalt blue, and just drop a little bit of a shadow in. I don't want too much on this back one, I do want a little bit. It just adds interest. Just soften this in with a damp brush. Mopping up. Just taking a brush and I'm just going to lift some paint off the bottom here. Just to create a tiny bit of mist. A separation gap between this hill, set of mountain ranges, and the next one. And then you're going to let that dry. I've just re-wet the next hill now that other one is dry. As we carry on, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Once again, a stronger version of the cobalt blue and neutral tint. Maybe a little stronger. We could even put some trees on that back side there, I think. We might do that. And I think what we'll do is we'll just take a detail brush, and on this back hill here will indicate that maybe there's a little line of trees coming down the back side of this mountain. And then we're going to let that dry. Now that that background hill is dry, yet again, once again, cobalt blue and the neutral tint, sky colour. Then I want to drop some stronger cobalt blue and neutral. Take some cadmium yellow. I'm going to make a real dark earthy green with this, and I want it really dark, almost so you can't tell it's a green. That's a little bit of burnt umber in that, and cadmium yellow light. Some of this on the edge of my brush. With that I'm going to create an uneven line depicting some trees, evergreens. Your eye will mix it and tell you that it's trees. Let's have a little gap in areas. Just basically some marks in the wet paint, that's all, just indicating more trees, but nothing definite. And then we're going to let that dry. I just want to take some water on a brush, and I'm just going to add some here, and I'm going to drop some bushes into this. So I'm just sort of wetting an undulating line that comes down this little hillside here, just to make it a really, really dark evening green kind of thing. And we'll start above it and allow the bushes to sort of take a little shape, just touching and then just moving on, just bringing it into the water, allowing gaps in between. I'll take a little damp brush, pull some shadow down the hillside, just darkening just mixing these two together, just to darken it slightly. I just want to bring this across and create some slopes just by pulling the brush and the colour up into that, dampening the brush once again and just softening some areas. Just softening it all together. Want a bush here, so I drop some water there. Once again, some colour. It's a very grey green. Just catch the bottom, pull this out slightly. Just take some more of the colour, sky colour, bring this into it, and then I'm just going to let that dry. Now that that's dry, I'm just going to take some of the dark green again, cobalt blue, neutral tint, and some cadmium yellow light, and I'm just going to put a couple of tops of these trees in, I think, just to start them off. These two in as well. You can put the rest of these in with a broken open mop brush, you've seen me do that before, but I'm going to use my oil brush for this. Break it open. Bring them together. See how the brush gives the tree a very light and airy effect. Some bushes there as well. At this point I'm just going to re-wet the water area. I'm going to lie the board flat for that. I want to take some of my cadmium yellow lights mixed with Naples yellow, bring this through, all horizontal strokes. Take some of the sky colour, bring this towards it. Not worried if I get a bit of green. Taking some of the darker cloud colour, putting that in, cobalt blue with a neutral tint. I still want to leave some of the underlying colour showing through. Drop a bit more neutral tint in that. Cobalt blue neutral tint, well this is really thick. Just drop a little bit in, just to darken this corner up. Hints of reflection, but not much. And I'm going to take some cadmium yellow light and drop it back in there again. I'm going to begin to create some of the foliage on this tree here, a winter tree, just by dropping it in with the brush. Just using a tip and a little bit of the side of the brush to do this. And you can see why we left the sky light on that part. It makes that stand out. And taking some of that same colour again. You can begin to add some branches in, adding structure to your tree. Into a bigger brush. And I'm going to wait before I fill the rest of the tree in. Otherwise if I hit the river it will just run into it. Just create some bushes and stuff here. Thicken the trunk up. There's a bush here. Just pull that into the snow. Darkening that slightly. Just a little bit more snow shadow. Taking a damp brush. Just softening all this together. I like that little patch of white there, I'm going to leave it. And then I'm just going to let that dry off. Okay, now the river's dry. Same colour again, we can just fill the tree in. We might even have a fence post. Bit of wire. Turn the board round. Just turn the board round while we put some light reflections on the water with a craft blade and a ruler. And I'm just going to put the shoreline in there. A couple of light streaks. These always work well on the dark patches of the water. Always make sure they're straight. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. Please leave a comment below. Always nice to hear from YouTubers and I do reply. I'd like to thank you very much for watching.